guys, I'm going to show you how to build a custom mini door inside of Bloxburg. So you could do this in any room. I'm just going to place a wall there. So what you're going to need, the game passes that you're going to need are basements, advanced placement, and transform plus. Those are the only game passes that you're going to need. So you can use this for like many different builds, like if you just want like a tiny mini door. So the first step is to pick your frame. I'm going to do the traditional window frame, but you can do any window. And I'm going to scale this down to my liking. So maybe like the shortest. Okay. And I'm just going to move this closer to the ground. So now that we have that, you're going to want to, so you're probably going to want to have like this like corner here, like this like boxed off corner. And you're going to want to actually place a basement. Wait, you might not actually need a basement. My bad. You don't need a basement, guys. It's fine. My bad. You don't need a basement. Actually, you can use a basement if you want. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to place a basement. This is optional, but I recommend doing this just so that it's more hidden. Also, what is all this water? Bloxburg, remove this. This is ridiculous. But like I said, this is optional. So if you don't have basements, you can just use the bookshelf door and place like that if you wanted to. But to make it more hidden and more like easier, I'm going to use basements. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to place this so that it is the furthest away from the wall, and like you're going to want to find like an arrangement where it's like smallest, so like that. And basically this next step is to get a basic shape. I'm going to use a cube. Oh, you can't place that there, my bad. So you're going to want to place on the top shelf if you are using if you are doing basement, but if you're not, you could just place on the bottom shelf. Wait, actually, before you place it, you're probably going to want to scale it. So I'm going to place that on my window frame there, and I'm going to scale this to my liking. So I think that is pretty good. And now I'm just going to scale this to the size that I want. So I think that is a pretty good size. So now that we have that, you're going to want to place it on your top shelf on the bookshelf. But again, if you're doing this without the basement, on the bottom shelf. So now that that's there, we're going to transform it into our window frame. Okay, so we're going to transform this. Just like that. I'm just going to move it over so it's even like that. There we go. And you can color this anything you want. I'm going to color it like a darker version. So now that that's there, you're going to want to test to make sure that it actually works. So click on the bookshelf. Just like that, it opens. So this is basically like the simple version. But if you want, you can add like some structural on it just to make it more like proper. So like if you really wanted to, you could add some structural like I said. But I think that's all I'm gonna add. And don't forget to add like a handle or a doorknob. If you want a doorknob instead of a handle, all you have to do is get a basic shape. You're gonna want to place it on the top shelf again. But again, if you're doing this without the basements, on the bottom shelf, and just scale it down to your liking. I think that's good. And you can transform this into your door. And again, if you want to make sure that works, you can just go up and test. See, like it doesn't work, which is fine. I think handles are easier to do, so I just recommend doing a handle instead of a doorknob. But if you wanted to, you can make this kind of like a coraline tunnel like, she crawls through. Like, you can make it like a hallway, or leading into like a secret room where you hide all of your money. But that is basically how you make a mini door inside of Bloxburg. So I hoped this video really helped, guys. And yeah. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.